Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today we are back with another episode of the Chronicles and Never a Foul. And it's not just going to be anything about Liverpool slander. This is the one where we kind of have to be a bit more neutral, just for you guys as well. So we're going to be talking about everything. Don't worry, there is going to be a bit of slander towards Spurs. They are not off the hook. Conte is not off the hook. He might not be in the thumbnail, but we haven't forgotten. That's the whole reason why Almiron's getting his boots shined by Joe Linton. But other than that, make sure you like the video. Make sure you smash the subscribe button if you haven't and you're early and this is your first time watching Never a Foul. And second of all, just make sure you listen to this intro with a bit of a bit more closely to see how good it really is. And we're back just like that. But Mo, man, how we doing this morning in Texas? Obviously, it's afternoon for me. Texas for you is a bit like 5-6 hours behind, man. How you look quite fresh, man. I like that. Wait, can you show me the top you've got on?
It's the fourth Inter jersey.
Oh my god, don't do that. Hey, you're gonna make Double A have an absolute wankfest in a minute over that shirt. He loves a kit, don't he? You know what I mean?
This is the fourth kit from like 2 years ago. It's full of colors and stuff. I'm not sure if it's great, but it's just different.
I've never seen that before. That's a nice shirt. It's a bit different.
It's a bit different. But this is my favorite show of the week, people, because we get to talk about everybody. Not a lot of slander, not a lot of banter, a little bit of laugh, but it's a little bit of a subjective show. And I know a lot of people like the banter stuff, but if you want to hear like real opinions about football, this is the right place for you. This is the right place for you. So, but let me start by saying one thing. Conte in the mud. He got dominated yesterday by Eddie Howe, who used to Antonio Conte, the one that won the league with Inter, won the league with Juventus, won the Premier League with Chelsea, got dominated tactically, dominated from the first minute to the last minute by Eddie Howe, who everybody thought that he's only good for a bottom half table team. But yesterday, Eddie Howe, and by the way, I want to say that, Cass, this Newcastle team added Botman, added Danburn, who, by the way, played for Brighton, who only can come 17, 16, 15, and added Guimaraes, who didn't have any Premier League experience. But that's it. The rest of the team is the same team. So it's all down to the manager. You know what?
You know who's in my team? But you know who's in our team, shall I say? The Never a Foul team. You got to big up our team in the building right now with 50 people in the building. So we got to big up my team right now, man. Included in my team playing up front is Zohaib, says smash the like. Playing in defense is emojis. Salah is finished. He's saying, I ran a poll basically, Mo, saying, look, it's in the title. So I wrote Mo Salah bounce back. Yes, 100%. No, time is done. Or maybe just a slow start. It could be a slow start. Big up Sid, who's playing right back for me all the way in India. Big up Sid, man. Love that. Kumar, you're playing left back for me. Happy Diwali, bros. Oh, it's Diwali. Well, nice one, man. Is that how you say it? Diwali or Diwali? I think is how you say it correctly. I'm not too sure, but big up to everyone that's celebrating that. Love that, man. I hope you all having a good time. Bailey, you know what? Just because you support Liverpool, you're going to start on the bench. Jay Millsy, midfield, just because you're, big up you. City, obviously, playing centre mid. You got to ball out for me a little bit. In DM, I've got Jose CFC. Love that. Kai Tat Wong, I don't know why, but you know what? I'm thinking that you're a bit of a goalkeeper for me. Big up John in the building as well. I'm pretty sure he's going to have a lot to say. Mate, he might have a lot to say in the comments, Mo, about Liverpool and how he feels at the moment as well. John, old school, got to put that guy right in centre mid, box to box. Love to see it. Mama Flossie in the building as well. Like to see that, you know what? It's not just a men's sport. It's for women too. She can also play up front alongside Zohaib, Abdi Ali, Techie, love to see it. If you're Somali, my guy, I might have to put you in attacking mid or on a wing. Need that little bit Somali sauce from that five side. You get what I'm saying there? And Shodrak Tashi, is Sancho done and stuff? You know what? That's a good. I think we're gonna have to touch up on that a little bit later because twice yesterday. So in No. When did Man United play? But it was Saturday. So Saturday, innit? So on that notice, was it Saturday? Was it Saturday? Yeah, it was. Of course, it was at 5:30. Sunday when we done our Rivals Not Viral show, and also when I done a show on Big Six Bands with Mons. Big up Mons and Matisse and everyone that was on that earlier alongside what's the name, Husam as well, and so forth. That we didn't really get to touch up on Sancho, and I really want to, like, especially as a Man United fan. Daniel, love that. We need another centre back in the building as well. Yeah, man. I had a virtual team. I Paul Tierney. Big up you, especially, man. You know where you can be. You can be. What are we missing? What are we missing? I don't think we're missing anyone. Manager Paul Tierney, the manager. That's a virtual, never a foul team done in the building. Make sure you subscribe. You can be the you're a Liverpool fan. You're on the bench. So big up you as well, man. I don't know where to start, guys, innit? In the comments, I don't know where you want us to start. I feel like because Mo's already on that segment of Tottenham and Newcastle, I feel like maybe that's where we should start before we go on to anything else. Ezekiel, big up, an active gunner. You can play right wing for me because you're Arsenal, Saka and that. Let's go. Tottenham. I don't really, you know what is the point? You have to kind of be careful here as well, Mo, because we can say how bad Tottenham were, or can we say that Newcastle, how good Newcastle were? Because if we put too much slander on towards Tottenham, that means we might be doing a little bit of a discredit or disservice to how Newcastle have been. Where it's more like, should we praise Newcastle for the fact that they just outdone Spurs that way? Do you get where I'm trying to come from on that angle?
Yeah. Listen, Newcastle were good and everything, but they were not great. They just, for me, Newcastle did everything right in that game, holding Spurs, but because Spurs had the ball position in the first half, but they left their defense wide open. They defended really well, Newcastle, to be honest. They absolutely were amazing defensively. But listen, is Tottenham in crisis? Are Spurs in crisis? Is it Conte out? I'm not sure about that, because did I myself what is it called, overrated the squad, or thought that the squad has better players?
I think a lot of us did. I think a lot of us maybe overrated the Spurs squad, but that's because a couple of them not really getting used, like the Jed Spencers. I suppose Udogie isn't here from or Udogie. I don't know how to say. I don't like that. I think his name's Udogie. But from Udinese, like he hasn't been used. And when he comes in January, I think he's coming in January, by the way. I still don't think Conte will use him too much because he's about who he trusts.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is like Emerson. Yesterday, I was watching the game, and I was gonna put a tweet out and say, you cannot win a football game against a top team if you have Oliver Skip and Emerson Royale on the pitch together. Oliver Skip is at most bottom 5 team player. He is not good at all as a player. I don't see him as a good player at all. Emerson Royale is not a footballer. If anybody tells me otherwise, I'll be like, you don't know football. This guy has no first touch. His passing is atrocious. Everything is terrible for him, to be honest. Even his defense is not great. It was supposed to be a penalty when he had his arm out, blah, blah, blah. It didn't matter.
Who's this, by the way?
Emerson.
Royale. Oh, Royale. I'm thinking of Emerson. I'm thinking, wait, does he not play for West Ham? I'm thinking of, when people say Emerson, I'm thinking of Royale. I'm not thinking of Royale. I think of the left back, Emerson. He's a right back. Yeah.
No, Emerson.
I don't know why that was a bad. He should never have started. I don't know what he keeps giving this guy chance after chance.
I don't know why Doherty didn't start. I have no idea. But anyway, I think if Spurs continue like this and they don't give him players in January, I think they're gonna fall out of the top 4, because Man United are getting better. Chelsea are getting better. I know that Chelsea, people say, yeah, they draw a lot of games, they don't lose, blah, blah, blah. But we know that they're gonna buy more players in January. We know they're gonna buy a DM in January. We know that. Chelsea.
Yeah.
And there is Arsenal and there is City. So that leaves. And also, why are we counting Newcastle out? So let's talk about Newcastle a little bit. Guimaraes, what a player. Almiron, cooking. The guy, is he player of the month? Does he get player of the month for you?
I think he's got
5 and 5.
I think he's got more than that. I think he's got 6 and 6 now. I'm pretty sure he's got 6 and 6. Yeah,
so
he's
shout
got to be
for the player of the month. Can he take that and can he take that and put it in Grealish's
A lot,
house or
a
something?
lot.
Take that, give it to Grealish. Say, hey man, you deserve it. You talked about me. You
you
made me better. Grealish made him better. So maybe he can take it to Grealish. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I know. Before we talk on Aaron a little bit, guys, 80 of you in the building, 10 minutes in. There's 66 likes already, and I'm loving that. Just make sure you double check, get in your burner accounts. Make sure you go like the video, push it to the next people as well. But on the Almiron situation, I think he's got 5 and 5, 6 and 6, one or the other. Regardless, that's shouts for player of the month for me, especially Newcastle. The fixtures they have had, they've had Man United, they drew. They've Tottenham, they won. I'm pretty sure they also beat somebody before they played Manchester United 1-0. Who was that? Was it Everton?
I can
Maybe.
check.
I'm pretty sure they won 1-0 against somebody just before that. I just can't remember who it was. But
yeah, 1-0 against Everton. He scored that goal.
So
they won
Everton
5-1. You remember they won 5-1 against Brentford, and he scored goal of the month.
Yeah,
so
look, and before that they smashed Fulham as well. So on that notice alone, I feel like they've got definitely the best. I think they've got the best defense in the league at the moment. Sven Botman, Dan Burn. Who's their right back exactly again? Oh yeah, Trippier, who's kept fit. He's playing wonderfully. Like their front three, it's like Dan Burn don't really need to get forward where you can see what they're doing. Look, I get it. Kulusevski was out of the squad. I hear
not
that.
an excuse. Not an excuse. Not an excuse.
But look, I hear that. But at the same time, they had no say Maximan and no Alexander Isak as well. So everybody has got injuries. I don't want to hear injuries. Look, Man United's got injuries now. Chelsea's got injuries. Arsenal, I think they're a bit fortunate. I think even they got an injury with Zinchenko. You know what I mean?
We don't have a striker. Man United guys don't have a striker, basically. It's as simple as that. So.
Exactly. Like everyone's got injuries. Even City have got injuries. Like
Chelsea got
injuries.
Right back. Chelsea got their biggest center back injured. Yeah, like just
do you get what I'm saying? So there's injuries everywhere around the board, and it's like I'm not being funny. At home, you'd expect not to lose against Newcastle. So that's why I was saying yesterday, like you lost against Newcastle at home, bro. Like you know what I mean? It's like, oh, what about Man United? You drew. I'm like, well, if it wasn't for VAR decisions, which I want to talk about as well, maybe a little bit after when we get towards the Arsenal part and even the Man City part, because maybe we mix and match those in between, because the refereeing decisions, every time we talk about it, as the weeks go by, like we need to have a serious conversation with everybody here as well.
So before we move to City, I'm gonna move to City now. But before, the last thing about Newcastle, and Mill is asking about, do you think Callum Wilson should go to the World Cup? No, I don't think he's good enough for England. I don't think he's good enough to go to the World Cup.
I was saying we need to have a conversation about that. No, we before we move on to City, we need to talk about Conte. Is he going to stay? Is he, like, in your opinion? You know how this man moves. He managed.
So he's gonna stay. Like, he's gonna stay. He's gonna stay
to the summer.
To the summer. He's gonna stay to the summer. He's gonna wait for PSG, Real Madrid. He's gonna wait for Juventus, and he's gonna wait for these people to see if someone is gonna offer him a contract. However, you know, Spurs want to make him the highest paid manager in the Premier League. They want to offer him £20 million a year salary, which is a lot. Hakan Çalhanoğlu is linked with Newcastle and Man United. I don't think none of them is
away from me. Keep him away from my club.
Okay, so Uncle Sharma here is telling us about Newcastle, about Conte. He's gonna demand a lot of money to spend in the summer. Only then he will sign the contract. So this is the thing: they're offering him 20 million, but they're also offering him about 200 to 250 million budget to spend on players.
That's massive. So what we're seeing here is maybe Tottenham. They know it's not going to be an easy ride this season, but like Man United, it's not going to be an easy ride this season. I think
it's
Chelsea
the same as Ten Hag, right? It's the same as Ten Hag, right?
Yeah. So he knows it's going to be a build, and now, but I'm here. You know what it is? I've already seen Spurs fans talk about. They're kind of doubting Conte now. Like, I've seen it in the group chats. Like, I am in a massive Spurs group chat, by the way, and I'm the only other fan that don't support Spurs. So big up Sean for allowing me in that group chat. Some are doubting him. I'm seeing fingers being pointed to Levy. But if I'm hearing this sort of news and it's to come true, I'm like, I'm not being funny, but Levy's showing ambition. He's finally, for the first time in so many years, Daniel Levy, for me, he's built you a new stadium. He's got you to one of the greatest managers. He even tried it with Jose Mourinho. Didn't work out. He's got the modern version of Mourinho, who I think is doing brilliant at Roma, by the way. Conte showing ambition there. Now they're going to throw another influx of 250 million. Go get your squad. I'm not being funny, but that's the precedence that you need to set for a manager of Conte's ability to do something in the league.
But here's the problem, guys. If you have 250 manager, would you spend it with someone like Conte, who you know can burst at any time and leave? That's one of the problems. Would you want to get someone that is a long term and then you build a squad with them? Because you can go get 200, 250 million, get squad that is built for 3-5-2.
I don't
And
think they
then
can
the
afford.
guy leaves. That's gonna be shame, to be honest. But again,
I,
Conte, if you're gonna win something, you're gonna win with Conte, you're gonna win with Pep, you're gonna win with Jurgen Klopp, you're gonna win with Zidane, Ancelotti. You know what I mean? And there is not a lot of them out there, and you have one of them in your club. If you got,
that's what I was going to say.
you're gonna let him go and get somebody that is unproven. Yes, Conte play atrocious football and everything, but if you get him, like when he for Inter, he said, "Give me Lukaku, I'll make it work. I'll win you the Serie A," and he did. He just did. He won the score. You know what I
The
mean?
thing is, I don't know even know if he would need 250 million because he likes to get bargains and players that he knows that's going to run for him and has the mentality to do the right things for him. As Olu said here, big up Olu with a super chat. Love to see you here, my guy, saying Conte will just go and buy a man like Victor Moses, a right wing back, like a Hakimi. Look, don't get me wrong, I don't think he would just splash for no reason. The thing is, I feel like Tottenham can't afford to not have someone like Conte. Look, they got Newcastle up and coming at the moment. That's a threat in the background at the moment, and it's coming fast as well. At that, like, who knows? There might be a time where Eddie Howe things goes left and it flops. But they'll just go get another manager. They'll go get Simeone. They go get somebody that's available because they can do that. On top of that, notice as well, it's like Man United up and coming. You know, Man United have that the Glazers, I don't think they're going to put none of their money, but if they do spend next summer, which is looking likely,
I don't understand this point.
What I'm trying to get at is a lot of the clubs are going to spend a lot of money. Like Chelsea are going to spend. Man City, if they need to, are going to spend. I think Liverpool are going to end up spending because they can't afford, regardless of where they are. Every top six club,
Newcastle,
plus the ones on the outside, are spending.
Newcastle, inevitable.
That's what I'm saying.
Inevitable.
But with Daniel Levy and Tottenham, I don't think they can afford to even have 100 million and 120 million window because it's not enough. I'm not being funny. Kane is going to be a year older next year. Son is going to be a year older next year. Lloris is going to be a year old. Look, they can't afford not to put a massive influx of money into this squad. Otherwise, you're going to find yourselves down there where West Ham were, Leicester were, all that kind of situation. You can't afford to do that as a club when every other club is spending. Look, West Ham are going to spend. Arsenal are going to spend. Every club around you spending. With Daniel Levy, what he's done over the years, bargains, underfunding the managers, waiting for a transfer deal to get sold before they spend some money. Look, if I'm a Spurs fan and I have someone like Levy as my chairman, I'll be screaming at Levy like, you got to spend some effing money because this is not good enough. Look, Kane, they don't have to sell Kane. They've got him tied down. That's his fault. Whatever. He's going to be the Spurs legend. He's not going to go somewhere else. Maybe Bayern might finally come in for him next season if money don't work out. Get rid of him, maybe. I don't know. But what I'm trying to get at is like they can't afford to not spend that much money. Do you get what I mean? Because they are falling behind further and further. They can't afford to have Conte not in the club either, in my opinion. Because who did they get? Diego Simeone?
No. They're definitely not getting Simeone.
Exactly.
Before we move to City, the one last thing. Newcastle people, Newcastle fans, brace yourself. It's happening to your club. It's like City, but I think your club is going to be better because you have unlimited funds. And also, you have like this thing is like the Northeast, so proud, very proud people, I think. And I think this club is going to be one of the top 4 in the near future. It's not even going to take years. I think in the near future, I think they're going to get Europe this year. They might. I think if they get Europe this year, this is the start of a great thing for them. So City Brighton, quickly, Cass, did you see the stat about Brighton having
they had a bit more possession? Look,
which is the first ever time to happen at the Etihad. I loved it because I was talking to Daps yesterday, and it was something. It made it more fun as for neutrals to watch. At least someone can come to the Etihad and try to play progressive football, and this what makes the Premier League amazing. Otherwise, if City play every game and they just attack, and the other team defends, and you know that it's inevitable to happen, and they're gonna win the game. Even though they won the game, I thought Brighton gave them a really good run for the money, and I like that. I want to watch more of this.
Look, I think, you know what? I've got two sides to the coin this way now. Like, I think Man City fans have just got an utmost respect for Brighton, the way they try to do things. Like, you know what, fair play. You tried to come to our ground at the Etihad to play ball, and you could have possibly got a result. Webster decided to be a bit more strong the side on his feet, but Haaland was just way too much for him. Haaland, 17 goals, equaling tally, Harry Kane's tally from last season already. Already said that. I think I said many games ago. I think when Haaland slapped in like 6 goals, I said, you know what? I think he's gonna hit this. I think I said it to you, Mo, and Daps. I think he's gonna hit the same amount before the World Cup. He's gonna probably hit in or around the same amount of goals of the top scorers last season with Son and Salah, around the 23 goal mark, 24 goal mark. Like they see go from strength to strength. De Bruyne, we all thought like we've all had questions thinking, is De Bruyne gonna finally fall off? Are they gonna finally fall off? Like, is he getting a little bit more tired? I remember there was a time with some City fans as well, like City actually played better football without De Bruyne that when he was not even in the team. Do you know what I mean? But look, De Bruyne's. I'm saying it right now, loud and clear. De Bruyne is the best midfielder to ever hit. Like, you know, you got the Scholes, the Gerrard, Lampard. De Bruyne is the best. De Bruyne tops all of them. No,
Not even close. No,
I'm
he's
not even joking. I'm
He's
not
even
joking.
close to them.
No, you can't say that. I get it. He doesn't have a Champions League, but Gerrard doesn't
No,
have a.
no.
I get it. I get it.
Not about that.
How,
Let me finish.
look,
Okay, let me answer you.
no.
Come on,
No.
I'm not
on
having
ability.
this.
No, I'm
He
not.
plays.
Look,
He
I'm a
plays
Man
for a
United fan.
superior
I have to be
manager.
real.
He plays for a superior manager. He plays with superior players.
That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything.
Frank Lampard scored loads of goals from midfield. He was effective. Okay, listen. De Bruyne is an amazing player, brilliant, changes games and everything. But it's easier to play for Pep Guardiola than playing for someone like Mourinho.
I don't feel I can compare.
I'm sorry.
I can compare
Pep Guardiola
makes. He's not an attacking midfielder, but
Pep Guardiola is brilliant. He's one of the best managers in the history.
No, but then your whole thing's relevant because then we can say Xavi because he was under Pep Guardiola with Iniesta and everything.
It's my
he's
opinion
not one of the best
as well.
ever.
It's one of my opinions as well. But
I get
you don't want to hear that. It's not. It's one of my opinions.
Lampard had Deco. Let me get this. Lampard had Deco, Drogba, like shit.
Lampard has Deco after Barcelona, after his good days.
Lampard has had good teams. They all had good teams.
Yeah, but not like City. But listen. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on De Bruyne because I can tell you that De Bruyne now is one of the best players in the world, and if not the best this year, even better than Haaland. This guy is amazing. Every time his foot just graces the pitch, he makes things happen and everything. But again, I'm not sure. I have this thing not against City, because I know that Pep makes it easy. Even Bayern Munich players said that he is someone who makes football easier for us. He makes them better and easier for us. It's astonishing for the coach, but it takes a lot from the players.
Look.
The problem, it takes a lot from the players. He made someone like Raheem Sterling look like world-class, amazing player. Even though City people will tell you he missed a lot of chances and he cost us a lot of chances. I remember I can't remember against who in the Champions League, a French team, when they got out, Lyon or something. Lyon. I thought he missed that chance that it could have got him to the semifinal.
I get
but again, he made Sterling look world class.
It's not though. It's not. I'm not. What I'm trying to get. Look, mate, I can't compare Vieira. Maybe even look. See what Scholes does. De Bruyne can't do what Scholes did. Like that. There's different positions. All right. Let me mix it back because Vieira, Roy Keane, and everything. They're DMs. Look, they're DMs. Mikel, you can't compare.
That's why I'm talking about Lampard. This is why I'm comparing him to one of someone like Frank Lampard.
I'm going to compare him to Gerrard's, the Lampards, the centre mids that did push forward. That's what I'm gonna go up on. The one that do put in tackles. Look, De Bruyne can do everything. Look, I'm not kidding. He hasn't even been in the Prem as long as they did because they stayed in the league. And look at his numbers. Look at his assist numbers. He can pass. He can cross. He can keep the ball. He can tackle. He'll get back and run yards. Look, De Bruyne as the more advanced forwards in the Premier League from them centre mids for me anyways, the best out of that. If you're going to ask me in 10 years' time when De Bruyne's finished and we look back on the best midfielders at that current generation back then, who are you going to pick? Yaya Toure, De Bruyne, Lampard, Gerrard. There's some other 6 centre mids that have been around as well. And like there's more notable names. The first name on my sheet is going to be Kevin De Bruyne. Like, I'll be real. Like, he's for me, I get it. He hasn't really done it for country, but then neither has Hazard. Neither has a lot of the Belgian players that come forward.
Let me just put it this way.
I hate to say, look, I hate to say, I'm a Man United fan and I'm saying this. Remember, I'm a Manchester United fan, and I have to
Yeah.
say this.
There's a lot of comments, and
Sensational.
I want to get. There's a lot of comments, and
Yeah,
people
go on,
are
go through
very
them. Go through them.
into me. They're into me. But listen to me. Uh, listen to me. If I choose three midfielders or in the modern era for the football I watched, I would choose either Makaleli and Vieira as a DM, and I would choose Lampard and Kevin De Bruyne. They would be my midfield. Not Scholes, not Gerrard.
I think
I would choose this.
I see. Again, I wouldn't. I think you need a bit of a. Oh, actually, you know what? You know, that's probably one that we're gonna have to do maybe a bit later on, because I'm thinking in my head what kind of balance I would want as well.
That's why I
De
want a
Bruyne is.
clear DM like Makaleli or Vieira,
Okay,
or
wait,
maybe
okay,
Roy
wait, wait,
Keane.
wait.
Roy Keane. But
What if you had what if you had a Makelele or Vieira, but then you had like a Scholes, a dictator, and then a De Bruyne going forward? You got now.
I
You got
would
your
choose Lampard
playmaker.
because I
You
know
got
that
your rock.
Lampard will get me. Lampard will give me. He will guarantee
Vieira
you a
can do
goal.
both. Vieira could do a little bit more than Makelele in
So
terms of
maybe
a little bit
Makaleli
more
is a
going forward.
defensive mid because Makaleli. But
Yeah,
the
yeah,
thing is,
yeah.
Vieira.
Maybe.
Vieira is a
Hey,
kind of a leader, bro. He's a captain. Like it's Vieira, I have to have a Vieira or a Roy Keane in there. I have to have one of them. To
well,
be
yeah,
honest.
I get it, but I love Yaya. I hate to say it. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
the way
Today,
Yaya
okay.
Toure was as well.
There is a lot of
Six.
world class players, but for me to just correct everything, the standout players, in my opinion, in that position are Lampard, to be honest, and Kevin De Bruyne. It's a debate. I can have this debate. I'm not
Yeah.
belittling Kevin De Bruyne at all.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the Brighton game then
Okay,
a
let's
little
go
bit
back.
as well,
Let
man.
me
Yeah,
show
'cause
you this
it's
comment.
out
Let
of
me show this
topic.
comment from Dabs. Dabs is saying Brighton went to Man United, Liverpool, City, tried to play football. The difference is they got something. Okay, Dabs, we know that your team is the strongest team in the league. We know that. It's a fact. We know that. And I knew that Brighton will not get something out of this game. I just wanted to see a good game. I wanted to see someone who has taken it to City, making City look different. I wanted to see your players trying to defend. I wanted to see your players with their back to goal. And this is what I wanted to see. As a neutral, I love to see it. I love to see, and we're going to talk about Arsenal. I love to see Arsenal's second half. Okay, when they were pinned back again, when Southampton started creating, this is fun. This is more of the football I grew up watching. Back end to end, both teams can win the games, both teams can score, but at the end, City are superior. Haaland is superior to everybody. Haaland brushed Webster. Did you see that? And about VAR, and I know that you want to come to that.
Oh.
I thought that was a penalty, but also did Haaland push Webster? Maybe. It's a 50-50, but it didn't matter. He scored right after that penalty. But if you're talking about that incident but on its own, it's a blatant penalty. It had to be a penalty.
I have to think of it. I have to think of it differently. I think for me, by the way, guys, 200 of you in here. Love to see the support and everyone that has subscribed. If you haven't hit if you're all in here right now, please hit the notification bell for the channel, so then you know when we go live next. When we do go live tomorrow and every day, because we stream every day, you just get notified that it'll come on your phone. Notification, never fouls live. This, that, and the other are gonna come up. And also hit the like button as well. Like we're not 190 likes, nearly at 100. But so if you haven't done that, please double check that. Go on.
Before you go, I wanna thank Paul Turney for this because we moved from Newcastle. I don't know about you, but I thought Joelinton was out of the door. So poor. His improvement and moving to midfield is insane. He was immense against Spurs.
That's credit to Eddie Howe.
Yes,
that's a credit to Eddie Howe.
He is absolutely one of the dude. He is one of the fighters in the midfield. The guy tackles in the back, goes forward. His passing is getting better. Like you can watch him now, and you can see the proper footballer they wanted to sign. And maybe it's thanks to the manager. It's a fantastic. Paul Turney, thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much. You're always here supporting us. We really appreciate your support. It just fills our heart with joy. It's great to see people supporting.
That's why he's our virtual manager of a virtual football team. So if you guys that got here late, I done a virtual football team for the guys that were in the comments first, and I built an 11 and a couple on the bench. Some super subs, maybe where Salah might need to be later in life.
Oh my God, I'm going down the comments. A lot of people are like slandering me for this De Bruyne Lampard. Guys, are you guys like telling that Lampard is not even cannot even get in the conversation? Gerrard, Scholes, are you guys like, recency bias at its best, bro? But anyway, go ahead. I
was gonna say with the City game, just to roughly sum up about the game is. Brighton could have had a little something else out of that game, but no, why not? Because Haaland. But I thought the Haaland one for me was a penalty, but the Bernardo Silva one was not a penalty whatsoever. Like, he stuck his leg out looking for that contact. It was so bad. Honestly, I thought it was such a dive. He didn't get booked for simulation. There's not enough bookings for simulation for me in my head. But the Haaland one, I thought Sanchez should have got a yellow card. I thought that was definitely so. What they're trying to say is then, yeah, if you didn't give the penalty, they've appealed for a penalty, right? There was contact. It looked like he studied his ankle. That means if you didn't give that penalty, that means Haaland dived. So go book Haaland for simulation then, because that was a dive then. Do you get what I mean? So why did they not do that? See, I don't get this refereeing in the English refereeing system. It's horrible. It's horrible. City, at the end of the game, deserve to win that game. So I'm not going to take anything away from that. I have to put this up there. Look, Solar MCFC, big up for the super chat, man. Honestly, love that. Hit every single stream. That's a massive super chat. I love that. Oh, wow. You're making my Monday already. I'll be honest. Big up. She says, hit the like button, people, if you haven't. Get us over 100 likes.
I'm going to leave this on the screen. Don't remove it. We'll leave it for everybody come in.
But City deserve to win it. Credit to Brighton for playing games, going to the big games, trying to give it to them. They haven't had the easiest run of fixtures. I don't think it's been easy for De Zerbi either, like doing this. But
yeah, he faced every big team.
Every big team at the moment, and every big team. And then I'm just thinking, like, look, they need to go on a run. They got Arsenal soon as well, by the way. I think they've actually got Chelsea soon, by the way, as well. But on that notice, I just feel like it's a bit unfair on them, but they are where they are in the league. And it goes to show they need something that they have been lacking for so many years, is a striker. They miss it. They really are missing a good striker. They need someone like Mishu to come in and do what he did against Swansea for a couple seasons. Just boss it. Just have a guy that's going to absolutely finish off every single chance, because they get chances. They do create chances, but they just don't finish their dinner.
Okay,
but
City. Go ahead.
Go on. I was going to move on to the Arsenal game next.
No, before we do that, City are going to go to Leicester next game. The Leicester City that we're going to talk about, their game that smashed.
Yeah, Leicester. It's at Leicester, isn't it? It's got to be at Leicester, isn't it?
Yes, it's at Leicester. And you're going to move to Arsenal now. So,
do you want to talk about Leicester then quickly? Because I don't mind quickly getting them out of the way.
I had Arsenal in my agenda to talk about them.
I've got my agenda against them right now too. But can we really have an agenda against Arsenal?
You want to talk about Leicester?
What the guys in the comments want? Arsenal first, or do you want us to talk on Leicester? Because we can talk about the resurgence of Brendan Rodgers with his team, or we can talk about that Saka. Is it a dive or wasn't it a dive? I don't know what you think, Mo, but I know what I think.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. You're talking about the early one that he got pushed.
Yeah, the early one.
Number one, it was not inside the area, so I don't know why we're talking about it. It's outside the area, and he dangled his leg way out, to initiate the contact. So it's definitely listen. You played football, Cass. I played football. I still play football. I don't know.
I've never dived in my life.
I always dive. I'm a diver in this thing. I initiate contact. I scream. You don't know me. Everybody knows that. I draw cards and I do stuff like this. So
it's something in the kind of an stereotyping. Let me stereotype you right now. See you Egyptians, you Salah, all you guys, Elianusi, anyone like that, you all dive. You're divers. You'll do this. This in your blood.
Actually, the best ones about this, just to let you know, are the Moroccans. They are actually a Moroccan taught me how to draw contact, how to dive, like how to fall, and how to like stuff like this. You learn. So someone taught me this. So this year that he goes out of the play. He pushes the ball out and leaves his leg out to draw contact. It's definitely on him. I wouldn't call it a dive. He initiated the contact. It shouldn't have been a yellow card, but it's not a foul, and it's outside the area, and it's not a penalty. VAR did not rob Arsenal, and I thought this game is fair and square. I can't remember anything else. Maybe people can remind me. If there is any other incident, because I can't remember any other incident.
No, there was a few incidences in the Arsenal game. So let's move on to the Arsenal game properly. So Big Olu said as well, Saka was running.
Yes, I agree.
Wait, I found him out. Olu, you're 100% an
Arsenal fan. Finally, we found out.
Yeah. Look, 100% an Arsenal fan. We caught you. There you go. Big up you though, man.
Now let me tell you something. He got pushed. But are you talking about the push, or are you talking about the tackle? He dangled his leg out. It was very obvious. I don't get it. Why people are arguing this? Go watch it again. He left his right leg out to be hit, and I don't get it. Why do people
Is this
like
the early one or the later one?
The early one I'm talking.
I don't know. I thought there was contact though. Like I did. It wasn't inside the area, but I just thought the referee had an atrocious game for Arsenal. Look, I thought VAR could potentially actually rob them for the 3 points in a way, but you could say Southampton deserved to get something out of the game with the way they played in the second half, because first half they were non-existent. But I'm not being funny. There's a player that they played for them. Not only did he punch Jesus in his back, he also at what's his name again? He plays where does he play? What player am I thinking about?
In what team?
Southampton.
It's Salisu. Salisu is the one who pushed him.
No, it was no. I'm not talking about that. Like, I'm just talking about in general the players that they have. This is one player.
Lianco. Okay. This guy though, I'm gonna be honest. This guy deserves a suspension and a red card.
He deserves to get red for me.
And a suspension. That what he did in this game twice is unacceptable. You cannot do that in front of the camera. You cannot like swing your arm. You cannot do this with your head. It's unacceptable. This guy's crazy, bro. He was on something, bro. I'm telling you, man. He was on something.
I don't know where he thinks this is. I don't know, because I know he come from the Italian league. Like, I think he played for Bologna. I think he was at Bologna, and I know he's Brazilian as well.
He flopped.
He was at I think he was. If I remember, he was young up and coming for Torino in the Belotti days. Lianco, I remember that name. But what's it called? Like, he not only did he punch Jesus, I think there was another one with Tierney as well.
Yes.
Was in
his
the game.
Head.
I think
he tried to swing his head into him or something.
Yeah. Was it his head? I thought he might have tried to elbow him. And I'm thinking, like, VAR is not picking up any of this whatsoever. And you can clearly see the commentators are replaying. But the thing is, even with Sky Sports, right? They don't help it, because they get rid of the replay so quick, because they know it's gonna shine a bad light on the FA referees.
He's coming from Torino, bro. He was coming from Torino, so
I told you, yeah, but he was from Bologna and Torino, isn't it? I know it.
Bologna, he was at Bologna and then he was at Torino, yeah.
He used to be next to the guy that went to Brentford that plays right back, Aaron Hickey at Bologna. Yeah. But he swung his head at Nketiah.
Oh yeah, that as well. That's a straight red, isn't it? Right? Like, isn't it straight red?
I don't think he even got a yellow card. I'll be honest, and we saw a couple of weeks.
Yes, Mama Flossie here is saying he didn't even get booked the whole game. This is crazy, yo. Yeah, this is crazy.
This just reminds me of, it reminds me of Marcus Rojo when he didn't even get booked. He never got sent off for Manchester United ever in his career in Manchester United.
Marcus Rojo.
I'm not joking. This guy was a maniac. Argentine maniac. Like, I get it, aggression from the South Americans. They don't play around.
Which is same as Martinez. Why Martinez is very aggressive.
The same thing I could say, in the first half, I could say, look, Arsenal were all over Southampton.
Can we talk about the games? Yes, I want to hear this.
They changed Southampton. Hasenhüttl decided to change the formation to 4 at the back, and it looked a lot more even, a bit more breathing space a bit late into the game. In the second half, they came out firing. They did not allow Arsenal to breathe, really, but this was not the Arsenal I was seeing. I was seeing the Arsenal that we kind of know. They drop off after a little bit.
But
they looked a little, like I'm talking about from last season. They were tired. They looked tired.
Let me ask you something. Yeah, I don't want to hear this. Listen, I was on the match reaction with the Terrace guys, and then all of them are Arsenal fans. I'm the only non-Arsenal fan there, and they said they were leggy, they were tired second half. Let me tell you something. Only 5 players that played 90 minutes. No, I think only 3 players that played 90 minutes on Thursday. Also, the game is Sunday. Okay, so they have 3 days to fall in like this in the second half. You fall in the last 20 minutes. I get it. You're leggy, but you start second half right after the break. And then Southampton takes the game to you. That's authority, bro. You know, like when what Brighton did to Man City, it's exactly the same. Southampton took the game to them. And until Arsenal show authority during the 90 minutes, which is what, I'll tell you what, Jurgen Klopp team used to do this. City team does this all the time. They go and they show authority. You know what I mean by authority in the game? Like, I control the tempo. I control where the ball is going. But Arsenal don't do that. They didn't do it against Leeds. You remember? You didn't do it against Crystal Palace in the beginning of the season, but they got away with it. Because I think in the players' head, they think I can defend 1-0 lead. No, you didn't. And you couldn't. Because if you tell me, Liggy, why after Southampton scored, you started to play again? If you're tired, you wouldn't have been able to play again. So for me, Arsenal, they need to fix that, and it's the only part.
It's
Look
not.
at
It's not the
Arsenal
only
game.
bad game. It's 3 bad games in a row, and I thought not taking Saka off was a big mistake. He's been injured. I don't get me wrong. I get the comments. If you're big players, big games, they got to play through the injuries and everything, so forth and so forth. I get it, but Martinelli shouldn't have came off. It should have been Saka that should have came off, in my opinion. Martinelli actually looked half decent, but you got to give him rest. I didn't think they needed to play such a squad against PSV. Now you got to go play PSV away. Are you going to play? You don't need to play your full squad now, I don't think, but maybe you might need to, because otherwise you're going to get run over. I was going to talk about this as well. I support FC Nantes
Nantes,
with the
FC
eye
Nantes in
emojis.
France.
Jesus played like Lukaku. Look, you're trying to deflect Olu. I know you support Arsenal. I know you do not support FC Nantes. Look, Jesus had a horrible game yesterday in terms of finishing. His movement was good.
Listen, I don't want to run with this narrative thing. He helps the players. Dap said before, and we said that it's not about his goals. I was wrong. I thought this guy's gonna score 20 plus goals. He's playing far from the goal. He's trying to link up the play. He's helping Odegaard in the midfield, and he's leaving the job to Martinelli and Saka to score. Yesterday, Xhaka scored being inside the 18. While, in my opinion, he needs to score more goals, yes. But as long as they're winning games and he is involved in the game and he is making them go forward easier, I will take it. If I'm an Arsenal fan, I would take it. You know what? Always people used to say, it wasn't the forward that used to score goals for City. It was the wingers. And nobody criticized the forward because they were winning. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Let the team play as they want to play as long as they're winning. Now, if he scored yesterday, they would have won the game. But again, one game off away at Southampton. Did people expect Arsenal to win every single game, Cass? They're not going to win every single game.
I said that. I said, look, you can't win every single game. But look, Southampton away isn't for everybody. I get it. Chelsea didn't win there. Arsenal didn't win there. I get it. It's not for everyone. But I'm gonna get. But Brentford away isn't for everyone. I get it. Whatever. I'm just saying Southampton away isn't for everyone. Look, long story short, Arsenal's putting themselves. You can't play every game. Look, this is where you need your squad to come in and rotate properly, and it's hit them hard a little bit. I think they got Nottingham Forest next week at Emirates. I think that's going to be an absolute thrashing. The bounce back there they're going to need, the goals they're going to need as well. You can probably afford to rest a couple players there as well if you decide to go with PSV. I think it's a good time. I think the fixtures have kind of helped Arsenal. I don't think they have anything to worry about anyways. Arteta's doing a great job. So
I'm going to address this comment. The difference between Gabriel Jesus and Darwin Núñez is that it's not about the goals. It's about getting involved in the game. If Darwin Núñez gets involved in the game and provides for the wingers, I'm going to tell you he's great players.
Look, Mo,
for me, people think it's only about scoring, Cass.
I know, but you know what it is as well, Mo? Look, they didn't even have Bella Kotchap. They didn't have, none of their fullbacks, Kyle Walker-Peters and that. They didn't have Lavia. And look, they still came away with a draw. Credit to Southampton at the same time. They done well.
Yes, of course. Southampton hasn't. Well. Do we think this is a point? It's a positive result for Southampton, of course, playing the top of the league. But do we think Southampton, they dropped, they're 12 points now, 3 points ahead of Leeds, who dropped to the relegation zone. So for me, Southampton, you know what? I have trust in Hasenhuttl. I always know that they're gonna pull through. You don't agree with that?
He's gonna pull through, as in the league.
Yes, he's gonna stay. What I mean, pull through. He's gonna stay. He's gonna make.
But they've had some good results. Last 4 games, they've had some good results.
Yes, very, very good results.
It's like Leicester. They bounced back a little bit. Other teams have fallen off a little bit, like Brentford, like a bit up and down. Like it's a merry-go-round at the moment. Everton are bouncing back. Nottingham Forest got their first win in like 8 games. I don't think they're gonna bounce back though. It's just like at the end of the day, look. We all know this about Southampton, and they're average, man. They got nothing great going on for them. It is what it is. But Leicester, the team that have bounced back yesterday, I'm not joking. We have to talk about that. They annihilated Wolves at Wolves. Annihilated Wolves. And I'm seeing stuff about that Wolves are waiting for the World Cup to see what managers can appear. I mean, can they really afford to, not have a manager come in? Wolves. They need one right now. They need one now.
It's gonna be too late. They're
looking like relegation. They're looking like relegation fodder. How? With the midfield that they got? How?
Because they're playing atrocious yesterday. I didn't watch the game like like I had it as on a third screen or something.
Please tell me you watch. Please tell me you watched that Tielemans goal.
But I watched Tielemans' goal. I watched Harvey Barnes, who freaking deserves to be in the England squad instead of Jadon Sancho. Don't tell me otherwise. Harvey
I
Barnes
don't.
has to go to the World Cup, and Jadon Sancho has to sit with us on the couch, me and you, and stream with us during the World Cup. This is what he deserves. Jadon Sancho in our studio at Never a Foul, while Harvey Barnes in Qatar play. This is I don't get me anything. James Madison deserves to be there. He scored an amazing goal as well. James Madison deserves to be at the squad. Guys, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
James Madison after suspension comes back. That finish was impeccable. Power, low, in the corner.
Oh my god!
Bend.
And the dribble.
What else do you? What more do you need?
Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. What more do you need? What more? I think he goes like Dap said it in the comments there. I think he ends up going to Newcastle in the summer. 100%. They need somebody there in the attacking mid that can get close to their striker. There you go. There's Madison. 1 year left on his contract. I wonder how much they're going to sell for them because he ain't going to sign a new one. He's 24 years old.
Yeah, he's not going to sign it. But this guy, if a big team gets him, which is I'm going to call Newcastle a big team now, you need a Madison. Well, Imagine having a Madison instead of Bruno.
Look. The way I would do it, yeah. Look, we haven't got another 10. I think he's looking at Eriksen more as the 8. That kind of player makes sense. And a 4-3. This is the thing. I don't want to play 4-2-3-1. I want to play a 4-3-3 going forward. Man United need 2 centre mids. Like, if you're not going to play Van der Beek, get rid of him. Go get another attacking mid that can play 10, maybe sometimes 8. Do that. Cool. Go get me another 8. Now we need another centre mid regardless because we're lacking that. Fred, Scott McTominay can't keep doing this chop change. I'm not trying to keep giving McTominay praise. Oh, you know what? He played well this week. No, I don't want to hear that shit. Get rid of Fred as well. Fred needs to go. Let him have a good season. Get rid of him. So forth. But credit to like Brendan Rodgers. He's doing well. I think he's had 4 or 5 clean sheets now in the last how many games? So they've done massive turnaround there. Leicester are now out of the bottom 3 completely as well.
3 clean sheets. 3 clean sheets.
3 clean sheets. That's look from where they were to what they're doing now. Everyone thought Brendan Rodgers should be getting sacked. I still think he should be getting sacked. But you know what? We can always change and get things wrong, and he can build a team how he needs to build because something's happening there. Tielemans is playing out of his skin. Maybe it's the World Cup. Players want to play. They're getting excited for the World Cup. It's coming up. That's why you might be seeing a lot of performances happening. Yeah. I don't know.
So you're now, before we go, I know we got a super chat poll turning. We saw the super chat. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. So before we move on from this game, are you still worried about Leicester?
No.
Okay. Do you think Leicester can?
I'm glad we don't have to play them. I'm glad we don't have to play them now.
Everybody's glad. Yeah, all the teams said that we're glad we played them in the early in the season. But do we think they can go to top half of the table? Absolutely, I think they can. With the performances like this, they can. Absolutely, they can. Wolves, if they don't get a manager, I'm looking at the table now. I don't see any other team that will drop, especially after Villa start winning 4-0. It's going to give them a lot of confidence, and we're going to talk about that later. But I don't see anybody else.
I thought I was going to segue onto that. So look, Man United's got to play Villa twice as well in the FA Cup at Man United, and also they got to play Villa away. Look, I'd rather get the away game out the way now. Look, Villa came out 3-0 in 14 minutes. I think it was. Danny Ings twice. Leon Bailey looked like he's playing like a Leon Bailey that I saw in Germany, playing left wing, not right wing, in his favorite position. Probably, maybe man of the match. No, they won 4-0 to be fair. No, and then they got another goal. Who did they face again? Brentford. Brentford's not. Look, Brentford ain't. They've conceded. They haven't conceded. Look, they've beat. You know how many goals they conceded? 15 goals on the road alone this season. That's a lot of goals. See, something's got to change up. Look, I get Brentford want to play this flair. Buemo, you got Tony, you got the left winger, you got a centre mid, the Silva and all them. Got to change up. When you go away from home, you got to change up. You got to make sure that defense is more tight knit, harder to break down, less chances because that was way too easy yesterday. By the way, Mo man. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I don't remember.
It's the only guys
in my head.
Believe it or not, you know what, Cass? It's the only game I didn't watch this week. I watched the rest of the 8 games. I watched 8 games. I didn't watch this particular game.
Very, very, very good goals on.
I watched the goals. I watched the extended highlights, but I didn't watch the game itself. So I can look at the stats, but I can't talk about it. But all I can say is I like the result because I want Villa to win because they have really good squad. I know it's gonna. I like Tyrone Mings because I like his story.
Played well yesterday. Played well
Yeah, I
yesterday as well.
listened to his story. I know where I like. It's a very inspiring story. Tyrone Mings.
You want me to tell you another thing? By the way, John McGinn, by the interim manager, dropped him.
Yeah, but John McGinn is an amazing player. You know that he's a great player, right? You know, you like him.
He's good. He's good. He's like
He's
there's
the
nothing
top
special
six
about him.
players, maybe. I can see him in the top six bench or something.
Nah.
Man
Maybe
United,
like
you
top,
guys wanted him last year.
I'm glad we didn't, because that would have been Brexit football all in motion. I don't want John McGinn anywhere near my club. Look, if anyone's gonna pick him up, Tottenham maybe. I don't know. Like, he looks like a Conte type sentiment, but even then, I don't think Conte would even like that type of sentiment. Look, he's good for what he is. Maybe Newcastle can go get him for depth or sign or have him. He might suit the pressing system a little bit, but just do not. I just don't want John McGinn. I think he's good though. I think he's a good 6.5, 7 out of 10 player. He doesn't really have a bad game. He doesn't really have a great game sometimes, but he's very, for me, he's average.
Yeah, he's good. Anyway, Paul Turney, appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. He's saying Elianusi is that who said no Egyptian born in Morocco. I believe more moved to Norway. Yes, he's a Norwegian player. He plays for the national team, very young, up against his country captain and teammate in Odegaard, Norway. Know this as he played for Celtic. Yes, he played for Celtic. He's coming from the Premiership in Scotland. And he came to I know him from FIFA, to be honest, from FIFA, Elianusi, back in the days. I knew him before he comes to the Premier League. And I know he's originally Moroccan, and he went to Norway with his family very, very early as a young player. But Paul Turney, appreciate the super chat. Massive thank you from all the family here at Never Foul. We really appreciate the support, and thank you for being here with us all the time. We really appreciate it.
It's actually on Norwegians, there's another player for Celtic that plays centre mid with a left foot. Norwegian. He's got a very English name. I can't remember what his name is, but very good player. I just thought I would just throw that one in there. Let me get.
So I got a question for you. What's your thoughts on Jacob Ramsey? I think he's a great potential cast. What do you think?
Yeah, he's got great potential. Yeah, of course he does. He's got the world's in front of him. Is it going to be Aston Villa? Maybe. It depends who the new manager is and how he sets up. Like, he's young. He's got a lot to give, but it gives me. I don't know if he's ever going to reach heights like that. Look, there's some players that I think are going to be special in just from looking at them from young.
Yeah,
you get what I mean. And there's some players I think like, yeah, you're probably going to go on to have a good career. He's one of those players. I think you're going to have a good player. You're going to have a good career. Could be a very decent, a very good player. But
yeah,
I don't think it's going to be anything special. I'll be honest.
Hey, Active Gunner, I saw this dive, and it was the funniest dive I've seen in my life. Like, it was bad. It was bad. But Kat, before we move to the next game, guys, can we get these likes up a little bit? How many? We're on 120. I know that we can get it to 150 in the next 5-10 minutes. Please hit that like button. It's underneath your live chat if you're watching on a phone, and it's underneath the video. Make sure it's highlighted. It is up. It looks like this. It is free, and it helps us big time. It helps us push this video to new viewers. It helps us expand. So if you like this video, please hit that like button, please. What's next? Is it Man United time yet, Chelsea, or?
I would say so. I'd say so.
Okay.
I don't know where to. I get it. People want me to talk on Jadon Sancho first, and I saw it from earlier.
Everybody wants you to talk about Jadon Sancho.
Jadon Sancho. What you ask me the questions and I'll answer it, because honestly, I don't know where to start with the guy. I'll be honest.
Jadon Sancho should be sold. It's done. Does he have?
Whoa! Hold on. I don't know where you're getting that thing from. Nah, I wouldn't say go as far as selling him. I think his future. I think his future lies.
Don't make the Pepe mistake. You can sell him and get some money now, and keep him and make no money later.
While I was young, yeah. But at the same time, with Sancho, I feel like I want to see more of him on the right-hand side for more, because where he looked more promising. I don't think he's going to cut the mustard in the Premier League being on the left-hand side. I wouldn't sell him yet. Look, I'll give him to the end of the season, and I think there's going to be some questions. He's still got a lot of time on his deal, by the way. So even after this season, he's going to still have 3 years. Maybe you give him that season and make a decision. I don't think I can't see the manager getting rid of him until, because he might think, imagine I get this squad, right? I've got Sancho or potentially Sancho that can be in and off the bench. Rashford in and off the bench. You can have a squad where he does end up performing. Do you get what I mean? Like he might come to life. Look,
no,
the
I
only reason
don't.
why I can't.
I'm not buying it. 85 million
I
to
want to see
sit
him.
on
I
the
want to see him in
bench,
a
guys.
10.
85
I want to
million to
see
sit
him.
on the bench. Come on.
No, I don't care. There's other players on other people's benches that are costing near enough just the same.
And we
I'm not
call them
bothered by that.
flops.
Look,
And we
yeah,
call them
and that's fine.
flops.
And if he can be utilized well, if we do get Champions League football, he's going to have a lot of game time. I feel like that's where he probably will shine a lot more. Is probably in the Champions League. But I want to see him either on the right hand side or potentially in the 10 in the future. If we do play 4-2-3-1, where I think he operates better in the middle. I'll be honest. He had a good relationship with the low, and I want to kind of see that. But if it means Sancho and Anthony are fighting for that right wing position, then so be it. Because we need more directness in the team, anyways. We need a striker. I want to see what he's like in the team when he's got a different set of personnel around him. He just don't work well with Rashford being up front. I can see it, but it doesn't excuse that he's had a shit time at Man United. Look, what I saw at Chelsea. Look, every time we talk about Sancho, he's like, yeah, I just seen him at his worst time. That Chelsea game was the worst. From his touch to his passing, he grew into the game a little bit, but not enough to really affect the game. So Anthony was pushing Chelsea to the limits, where he's like, he had a one-on-one. He was making Cucurella and that look like idiots and so forth. But then we need that as well from the other side of the pitch. We need you to also do the same. So it relieves pressure. And we know if you attack down from the left, if it was for Luke Shaw, then I think that it would have been exposed a lot more than what has been in recent, in my opinion. Okay, I'll be honest.
With Sancho, for me, I think he has very, very good potential. I think just he lacks confidence. This is the only thing I'm going to say about him. He lacks confidence.
He's got ability.
Of course, he got ability. We saw that. Ability, you don't lose the abilities. But talk about the game a little bit. I know we killed the game, talked about it in that. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. We talked about the game. We talked about every single aspect of that game. But do we think now Man United can get top 4? Cass is going to tell you no. The target is top 6. I'm going to tell you yes. When you spend 200 million and you have a manager like this and you're playing as good football as they play right now, they deserve top 4. If they keep this consistently for the next 2-3 games, just before the World Cup, they deserve top 4. They play better than Chelsea. They play better than Liverpool. They play better than Spurs. So who deserves top 4? They do. I'm telling you what now, Cass. Based on what I see, actually, you're the 3rd best team in the country. It's as simple as that. Losing to City, no shame in this. No shame in losing to City 6-3 at the Etihad. I know you got dominated. I know 6-3 is flattering and everything. But other than this, you have been playing good football. Even against Newcastle, they defended with everything they got. Everything they got. And Newcastle are a good team. And again, nobody is expecting every team to be all the teams. There's only one team that can be.
With Man United, I think there's all to play for. Look, we pushed Chelsea to their limits. Graham Potter done his thing, but they only had 2 shots on target the whole game at the Bridge, by the way. This is the most drawn fixture in Premier League. I would, if you told me before the game, are you going to take a 1-1 at Chelsea? Yes, I am, all day long. If you told me I'm going to take a draw at somewhere like Tottenham or the Emirates with Arsenal, no, I want to win because that's where grounds where we can pick up points. But when you look at that game, I'm annoyed. It's just like the Newcastle game. I said if we can pick up 7 points from Newcastle, Tottenham, and Chelsea, 7 points, I will say, you know what? I think top 4 is looking very likely. I'll be honest. You're playing very well. It's the manner, it's the manner we played in which makes me excited as a United fan.
Exactly.
I'm gonna play it safe all the time because you lot wrote us off at the start of the season, and I can play.
Yeah, but
game.
we did, but we didn't know that you're gonna get all these signings.
Yeah, but it's fine. But even after the sign, even after the signings, look, I said I'm tipped for 6th at the moment because it's the same way you don't want to talk on Arsenal and say, look, it's only been 11 games at the top of the league. Let's talk about it. Let's talk after half the games have been finished at the end of the year, and I might change my mind. Like I might change from 6th to 5th, but top 4. Look, the thing is, there could be.
Can you tell me, Cass, who's better than you? Who's better than you in the league?
Look, on current
be
form. Be
honest. Not on
current form. On current form. Look, I'll be honest. Look, I don't think Newcastle are better than us right now. Okay. We are if we win our game in hand against Leeds, then we go above them and Chelsea. If Chelsea, but the same credit Chelsea.
So
Chelsea
who's
beat
better?
Liverpool.
You or Chelsea now?
Right now, I think Man United are better than Chelsea.
Thank you so much. Who's better, you or Spurs?
No, I think but we're better than Spurs. Exactly. Of course, we're better than Spurs. Everyone's better than Spurs.
Have the chance, have the balls
Spurs
to come out and say
Spurs are 3rd in the league. So what now?
Spurs are third in the league because they picked up results, but I'm talking about current form.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I'm
they're
talking
third in
about
the league
current
anyways.
form.
But
Come on.
yeah, I big up into ex Yugoslavia FC saying
Yeah, I
big
haven't
up.
seen before, right?
Is it Inter fan maybe?
Yes, thank you. Make sure to subscribe and hit the like if you're new here. Thank you so much for showing up. It's the first time I see.
Look, I will comment chess game by game mode. All you guys in the comments know I'm gonna comment chess game by game. But it's still early because I just got this weird feeling. If I keep bigging up, like, yeah, we're gonna get top 4. I sound like an Arsenal fan that we're gonna win the league or something.
We're gonna win
I
the
don't
league.
want to. I don't want to do that yet. I don't want to do it yet. Like I need January to come. I need to see some stuff because even though we're playing better, but in terms of our squad, our 11's good, but anything past that is not so good. So I need to see Marcel. I need to see Marcel staying fit as well. I need to see that we got a striker. How can I have confidence when I have no striker? Like a in and out striker. We got Rashford and we're barely making the 3. You take what was our options to come off the bench against Chelsea, by the way, guys?
Oh, your bench
Elanga, bro.
Yes, your bench is
Elanga.
weak.
Do you get where I'm coming from? So
Yeah,
look,
weak,
I'm just happy. Look, we're missing Varane, and luckily it's only for 3 weeks. Lindelof, I think, is more than capable of coming into these fixtures and getting us something. So I don't mind that, especially when we're on the front foot. Lindelof thrives off that. So our ball progression through Martinez and Lindelof should be good enough to get us like somewhere. But I'm not saying anything right now. Right now it's looking a bit shit for Liverpool, but they're only a few points behind us. They could turn up whenever they need to. Tottenham are looking like they're on their way down. They got a couple more fixtures to go. So look, we'll wait till I'm going to say this. Let's wait till November the 6th, and I might change my mind. November the 6th. That's it.
I got a lot of Serie A fans in the comments. It's red and black. Milan will win Serie A again. I think it's gonna be Napoli this year, but that's for another stream. But the last thing, we go to Chelsea. They only conceded 1 in the last 5 games. Their defense is very, very good, but they're gonna miss Reece James. And we saw against United, it's totally a different team. Without Reece James, somehow they're a different team. Kukurea is not playing very well. So for me, I would think that Graham Potter, I haven't seen. Okay, listen, Ten Hag in the beginning, until the Tottenham game, we haven't seen Ten Hag's team. We haven't seen Ten Hag's way of playing football. I think until now, we haven't seen Graham Potter's brand of football with Chelsea. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, for now.
We're still waiting to see Graham Potter cooking and Graham Potter players exchanging positions and playing the fluid football that he needs to do.
He needs to figure out what his best 11 is for now.
And the way, is it back 4, is it back 3? Because he changed in 35 minutes in. He changed Kukurea and put Kovacic to change to 4-3-3. And it was very obvious that he was not. It's not happening to him at a back 3. If you want to keep position, you need someone different than Jorginho. You need someone more dynamic. It's not dynamic.
It might work in Champions League back 3, but maybe in a Premier League you need to be a little less.
It worked for him with Brighton, but he needs more dynamic midfielder. Jorginho, I think Jorginho passes the ball a lot. I'm not a big fan of Jorginho, but I think that Jorginho is not suited for a back 3 like this. He's a defensive midfielder that will play in ahead of the back, if they play back 4, ahead of the 2 central defenders, and he will pass the ball left and right. But I think you need more of a Kante, Kovacic in a back 3, very, very dynamic midfielders.
Kante's out for a further 4 months, apparently.
Yeah,
he's finished.
So they don't have it.
Finished.
They don't have it. It's very slow. I agree with you. Jorginho is very slow. So what else?
Last game. You know what? We saved best till last, man.
Don't tell me Everton. Oh.
Nah, look, credit to Lampard. We can talk about Everton all day long.
Can we get this out of the way? Everton, guys, he is got them winning. So let me tell you what, he's 11th. Okay? 11th now.
How many points behind Liverpool?
3. But he has a game and he played a game more. But let's talk about Liverpool. Enough. Okay, let's talk about Liverpool. Liverpool in the mud, people. Salah, my guy, Egyptian guy, is not playing well. Van Dijk should have scored 2 goals at least. Lampard, Akbar, bigger than Gerrard, Uncle Sharma. I agree with you, Uncle Sharma. He's bigger than him. I don't know about coaching, but it looks like it. He's right. He's bigger than him as a player and a coach. This is my opinion as well. Lampard is better than Gerrard. This is just my opinion. As personally, I would rather have Lampard in my team than Gerrard. So I agree. But Everton 3-0. Are they gonna? They're gonna be safe. You guys said that Everton have too much power now with Kona Cody, Tarkovsky, Mopay, and Iwobi cooking. I think they have so much power to be in the relegation battle. I think they're gonna stay mid-table. But we move to the other side of Merseyside, Liverpool. I don't know. Me and you haven't talked about Liverpool because it was all banter and slander. But
It was all
I
over
know
the
you want to
weekend,
talk
yeah.
about. I know you want to talk about them and the way they play and stuff like this.
I,
Jurgen
I,
Klopp
I
is
don't.
finished. Is Jurgen Klopp finished?
I don't know. I said, look, if it was me and my club and the way I look at things, look, I feel in this day and age, you can't, like you need instant results to be where you need to be. But if it was me and I had such a manager who's done loads of stuff and out of nowhere, by the way, out of nowhere is having a shit show of a season. I mean, I don't think it's really on Klopp no more, really, but it's the squad itself. It needed refreshing ages ago. Maybe that's Klopp's fault. Maybe that is Klopp's fault. But that backroom staff needs to get removed. I'm seeing Pep Linders having a book. I would be pissed off at that as a fan. And also on top of that, it's like he wanted Salah out wide according to his book or something like that to be so he doesn't occupy the same spaces as Nunes. So now you're trying to play for Nunes. Nunes has been out the side and they reverted back to what they did. But then again, it's not working no more. You don't have the midfielders to do what they've been doing all season long.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So
Yes.
it's hard to really pinpoint on Forest and Liverpool. Forest played well, they defended well. Van Dijk missed so many like free sitters, you could say. No, I wouldn't say sitters, at least a chance you should be burying that. But then you let someone Fabinho, I don't know where that guy's form has gone, but I think it's been a whole year where he hasn't been playing well now. A whole year since I've been November, December of 2021. It's 2022. So it's coming to an end of that year. He don't look like he wants to be there. Curtis Jones, they have to rely on Curtis Jones. He's just come back from injury as first full 90 minutes. Trent didn't even start this game, I don't think. I think it was Milner again.
Again on the right side.
Van Dijk and Gomez, not really the greatest of games. Looked like he was in his own head. What else? There's Salah needs to be so much closer to the goal. Had 4 completed passes the whole game. It's his worst start ever. But he has still got a few goals under his belt. I still feel like Salah will come back. They just need to figure something out. Even if it is a new manager, something's got to change soon. But they're in and around the mix slightly. But it's going to get to a point where, look, Liverpool's got Tottenham soon. If you don't get past even Tottenham, I don't know where it's at. I think it might be at Tottenham, by the way. You're going to have to start asking questions, not because it's Tottenham. It's because, look, you can't even beat the bigger sides where you used to absolutely ransack them, sorry.
Yeah,
And
they play
it's going to get
Ajax
you're going to
away,
get
they
further
play
and further
Leeds,
away.
they play Napoli, and then they play Tottenham. These are
It's,
very because especially with Leeds losing that against Fulham, which is it's a terrible result for them. They're gonna come fighting in the weekend, to be honest. And you play Liverpool are playing Ajax away in Amsterdam, so and they need to win that if they are to challenge for top of the group. Because if they draw or lose, the top of the group is done. So it's not going to be easy. We know with the injuries at Liverpool, we know that they don't have a lot of options. You know what I mean? Like they don't have a lot of options to rotate with Diaz injured, with Thiago injured, Nunes is injured. So they didn't have a lot of options to do that. So for me, I think Liverpool are not in crisis, but I'm afraid for them. I'm afraid for them to fall off even more. You know what I mean? The form dips more.
I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of it. I'm loving it.
I know you are, but for me, if they keep the form like this, you remember that season after they won the league when Van Dijk got injured and they struggled to get top 4 until the last game. I think when someone lost at the end and they got the 4th. I think it was Arsenal. It was Spurs or something.
I agree with John as well. Like if they do not beat Leeds at Anfield, the crowd is gone. I'm just gonna start hearing some mixtures of. I feel like I'm gonna hear something at Anfield. You could definitely hear boos at the end of the game if they don't win that. It's not. It won't look good for Klopp. Will Klopp see the end? Maybe I think Liverpool in there. I feel like FSG. I feel like FSG in their mind will like look. Let's just ride it out till the World Cup. Yes. Then we got a bunch of options, and we can do it that way. Doing it mid-seat, like just before the World Cup, and not preparing properly when you can have more options during the World Cup. Some managers might lead. They'll be like, "Oh, I fancy that." You know, there could be a Luis Enrique. Might do things with Spain and be like, look, I'm stopping. Let's get Luis Enrique in or something like that. There's going to be a bit more of an option there. I think Liverpool can't afford to do that. It's just I thought they'll beat Leeds. I don't think it'll. I think it'll be. I think they will. But at the same time, we said that about other teams and it hasn't happened. But
Exactly.
Liverpool were just. It's just. It must suck to be a Liverpool fan at the moment. But look, I've been going through this for the last decade with Manchester United, pretty much. So I understand. It chops and turns. Look, eras come to an end. Could you call this much of? This is another Liverpool era. Like they had the era back then. Let's say 03 to 09, maybe. Like they had that kind of period in and out. They were always near the top three, even. European championships fell off. Then they've had another period again. And look, I'm absolutely loving it as a United fan. Of course I am. It wouldn't be the
because
same, but
it's one more contender out of the way, huh?
That's what I'm saying. But it's weird to just tell me where do you think Liverpool are going to finish? And if you say
I don't know,
sixth,
I don't know.
If you just get to the point where it comes February, like look, they might just get sick. They might get sick. They're looking like they're sick. That's a weird one to say.
It looks like
Just
Newcastle are not even. Newcastle are not slowing down. You know what I mean? Like this is another guy coming in and shoving everybody aside and saying, "I want to be here with you guys." Maybe not top 4, maybe top 6. You know what I mean? Like they like West Ham did to Arsenal when Arsenal like dipped in form for the last 3-4 years. Who took the spot? It was West Ham. It was Leicester. You know what I mean? So and Newcastle they're not West Ham. And they're not Leicester. They have unlimited funds, people. So these people are going to come in.
Pochettino, Tuchel for the Liverpool job, maybe?
I doubt Tuchel, maybe Pochettino. But again,
if Pochettino came in, I think he would sort them out quite well more than Tuchel would.
When?
But I mean, even if he came in now, I think he would shore up a lot. Like, I feel like the players, I feel like he would get he would get the best out of Salah. Yeah. Especially like the way he plays. I don't think Tuchel would. But I think Pochettino would. So what about? Definitely. Yeah. I'm just thinking of Son back in the day, kind of thing, like doing what he done, like the directors coming inside and yeah. But then again, he had like the left winger situation. He got a Diaz this time instead of a Lucas Moura. It's quite. But then they don't have that striker like a Harry Kane. That's the only issue. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't think Liverpool fans would like to see Pochettino in. I don't know who Liverpool fans would like to see in.
I actually have no idea.
It's such a
they have been with Jurgen Klopp for so long that it's now we got used to him. But we still have 140 people here, and we're gonna finish. And I'm gonna talk about the last thing. This Paul Turney again. Who's winning between West Ham and Bournemouth? I reckon Bournemouth for some reason probably better. West Ham won as a United fan. I think West Ham is at home.
Is it? If West Ham's at home, I would say West Ham, but
I think West Ham win.
I think it'd be a close win though. I think it'd be like 2-1. I think it won't. I can't discredit Bournemouth as much as I have this season. I'll be honest. Yeah, I think they've done pretty well to be in the position they've had. They've sacked a manager. You know, they've got some good results. They play pretty much all the big lot except for us. We got to play Bournemouth soon, so you know, like that's mad to say. Man United have got all the other back end fixtures that other teams have already played at. You'd think. Like, what other big team Man United got? We got West Ham to go. Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest on Boxing Day. Aston Villa. We still got Wolves to play. Do you get what I mean? Like
these are not big teams, though. You already played these teams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, but I think West Ham will win this. I think Jared Bowen needs to get a goal. He needs to get a goal for himself because that penalty miss was shocking.
Honestly, but it's definitely going to be an exciting game.
Yeah,
it's gonna be an exciting game.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it later.
Yeah. But
I always watch all the football.
The last thing is that I gotta give my to be honest, I gotta give shout out to Fulham for coming from behind and winning. These people are doing Wolves.
Coming from behind? They were winning. No, they didn't win. No, they didn't. They were 1-0 down, weren't they?
They were 1-0 down, bro. They started with 1-0 down and they came from behind to win 3-2.
Rodrigo scored and then Mitrovic comes and inevitably Reed is a very good player, you know. He played sensational. Reed.
But Mitrovic,
not the goal Reed. I'm talking about the already. Version.
You know that. Mitrovic has 9 goals already. It's amazing.
He's doing well this season. Look, a lot of these players are coming into their peaks of their careers. 29s, even Pereira's doing well. He got 2 assists yesterday.
Yes,
played quite well. So it's like a lot of these players are coming to their peaks of their careers and they're just turning up. It's all right to see. We got Fulham to play. I don't fancy playing Fulham. Not a Mitrovic.
No, nobody wants to play Fulham. Nobody wants to play Fulham. Yeah. Mitrovic or Martinez. Okay, we talked about Martinez a lot with big forwards. This is the test. If he passes this test with Mitrovic, there is no arguing about this guy, Martinez. He can do it against anybody, to be honest.
Well, and he's got another big striker.
Mo give a quick response of Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen is class. He needs space to work, and the finish was immense yesterday. Smalling was great, but he made that mistake. It's a mistake in a big game, but Victor Osimhen is up and coming. But he needs him and Leao. I'm not sure they're gonna go to the Premier League soon. Him and Leao, Victor Osimhen and Rafael Leao. Rafael Leao can benefit your club big time. If he comes to your club, you are absolutely challenging. You're guaranteed top 4. If you splash the money on Leao in January, you're guaranteed top 4. But this is it. The Chronicles, another week, another match day. Exciting. At least this weekend, man. It compensated for the dreadful midweek fixtures that we saw before. Dan, big up. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, little Dan. I gave him a bit of grief on the terrace yesterday.
Yes. So, everybody that watched us, make sure to like this video. Subscribe if you haven't. We really appreciate you being here with us on a Monday afternoon. This is a regular time for us. Myself, Cass, sometimes we get a Liverpool fan. Sometimes we get Dap. Sometimes we get Ty. But it's always going to be like this. Man City will finish Fulham. Yeah, of course, Man City will finish everybody, guys. Everybody, we know that. But make sure to like this video. Do we have anything coming, Cass? It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow there'll be something tomorrow. I'm not too sure what.
It's Champions League tomorrow. So anyway, with Champions League tomorrow, City play tomorrow away at Dortmund, and Wednesday is a big day. But for all of us here at Never a Foul, anything you want to plug in? Anything you want to say before we move on?
Nah, man. Other than I'll be on the terrace in about an hour and a bit. Yeah.
So thank you everybody that watched us. If you're watching this on playback, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate you guys. And again, I'm going to say it again. Man. Get in contact with us if you want to see certain content. If you have any suggestion, please text us. It's on @NeverFoul on Twitter, Instagram as well. Message us personally, Cass, Dabs, myself, Ty. You'll find our Twitter handles, our Instagram in our story, in the Never Fall story. So thanks for everybody that gave us super chat today. We really appreciate it. It helps us big time and it supports the channel massively. And thank you, Cass, for being here with me. I enjoyed every single minute of it. And from all of us here at Never Foul, hopefully we'll see you guys soon.